I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I get up when I'm bleeding, really breathing. I'll never back down.
This is the collision of common sense and comedy. This is Defenders Live.
I'll never back down. Thought I was 6 feet under.
Yay. It's Tuesday.
2 for Tuesday.
2 for Tuesday. Yeah, actually. Because we got a couple vidges.
Vidges,
I mean, it's all of the same stuff.
but it's similar.
It's something I don't recall finding out about this.
I didn't hear about this stuff.
I didn't either.
And you know what?
It's a little weird.
You need to know about it.
You do need to know this. This is
These are things and stuffs and stuffs and things.
if you hadn't seen this before,
These.
you need to see this. Just go. There's nothing
Nothing else to say,
just
right?
Hit
Just-
the transition.
And thank you to all of our incredible community leaders and advocates that are here today. This day would not be happening without you all. It is our community leaders on the ground that sounded this early. I remember that first call with Saida, and she said this is going to be something that we're going to have to work on and get rapid response on. And so I'm very excited to say that that today is the day. The hotline is open, and because that hotline is open, you can call into FEMA and you can start this process today. Now, we know here in New York,
Can I ask what process she's talking about? Do you know?
I do actually. It's you go ahead and keep rolling, guys. She'll
keep-
just
just gonna
give
clean it up a little
Just
bit?
a little bit. Just hit
I'm
play.
kind of concerned now.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
how tough those early days were. We couldn't even get tests here early on. It was something that was for celebrities and the privileged in those very early days. And so
Wait. Privileged? You mean like you?
No, it's
No?
not her. No,
No, she's not privileged.
yeah, no, she's not.
Being in the
I mean,
government, you know.
No, did you not see her dress the other night?
Oh, you mean the one that's said tax the rich?
Tax the rich.
That was bought that she bought from a designer who owes back taxes 12 different times
Yeah,
and still hasn't been arrested.
yeah, weird, right?
It's odd how that happens.
we have been, Senator Schumer and I have been working with FEMA. We've been on the phone trying to get as flexible and accommodating circumstances as possible. So here's what families need to know. Your loved one should have COVID on their death certificate.
Wait. What?
Yeah, your loved one should have COVID on their death certificate.
Is she meaning specifically the loved ones that died at the very beginning of the COVID thing? Why?
Well, just keep playing.
Anywhere listed on their death certificate, either as the primary or contributing cause of death. In the
Primary or contributing cause?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning they didn't actually die of COVID?
Yes, it doesn't matter what they died from.
COVID has to be.
those early days, though, we know that so many people, we didn't know what was COVID and what wasn't. And so there are several
We didn't know what was COVID and what wasn't?
Yeah, back then they didn't. Remember?
We just called everything COVID.
because it was all the flu. Remember?
Everything is COVID.
Yeah. Remember?
options available here. One is that you can go back to the institution that issued the death certificate, the hospital, the physician, etc., and you can have your death certificate edited in retrospect, knowing what we know now about COVID.
You get it now?
She's telling people to go edit the death certificates of their families and relatives
Huh? Yeah.
so that it hits the records as new COVID deaths.
Well, no.
That's what would happen, though. It would be registered as a new
No,
COVID.
that's not why they should do it,
But
though.
it would be registered as
But
a
that's
new
not why they're
COVID.
doing it, though.
But it would be...
But that's not why they're doing it, though.
It would screw up the numbers.
But that's not why they're doing it, though.
Why are they doing it?
Why are they doing it? Well,
Why are they doing it?
I didn't know this, and I'm still trying to find the exact article, but...
Okay, before you do it, you go ahead. Hold on.
So if your loved one's death certificate does not have COVID listed, you can have it put in.
And since September, they've been listing COVID. But the problem is, the Congresswoman said in the early days they didn't even know what COVID was, so they didn't list it. And we're working to get that correct.
Yes, so you can go to your institution and have it edited, or in your conversations with FEMA, we're also in conversations with FEMA to see what added flexibility that we can add there.
So they're working with FEMA.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're working with FEMA.
Huh?
To go. Just go. Go ahead.
From FEMA.
Go ahead.
The release date is March 24th of 2021, Washington. In early April, FEMA will begin providing financial assistance to funeral expenses incurred after January 20th of 2020 for deaths related to coronavirus, COVID-19, to help ease some of the financial stresses and burdens caused by the fakedemic. The policy was finalized today, and FEMA is now moving rapidly to implement this funeral assistance program nationwide.
Okay, so the funeral assistance. I know about this because I showed you the article originally. About,
I feel like we've
about the
seen
death. You know, the death payments and stuff.
Yeah, but I think what happened. And I could be wrong. I think what happened was we just like, oh well, whatever. So FEMA's paying for it. Whoop-de-doo. We were not privy to that little nugget of information that you have people like AOC going back and saying, oh, by the way,
you need to go edit the death certificates of your relatives to get the money.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what it was. You have to get these people to put that COVID was the cause of death. Doesn't matter the real reason that they had to have had COVID in order to get. And it's upwards, by the way, of $9,000.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
now, bear in mind, they're talking. This is as she said, is retroactive. Goes back to the beginning.
No, it can't.
Goes back. No. Hear me out. This is going back, as he just mentioned, of 2018.
Yeah, November of 2018.
So anybody that you can get a note for saying that they died in 2018 of anything, and you can get COVID put on there, they're obviously buried.
They're literally telling you to falsify death certificates.
Yes.
They're claiming it's correcting, but they're telling you to falsify death certificates all the way back to 2018 because we didn't know back then. We didn't, because COVID wasn't actually a thing then yet.
Still arguably not really a thing, but whatever.
It's 2.5 years argues different.
Well, maybe, but that's still.
Anyway.
You can make anything truth as long as you yell it loud enough and long enough.
Right, exactly. So, there were very few loopholes in the funeral assistance program that they came out with. I was actually pretty happy with the funeral assistance program because the one major thing that I liked about it was the fact that it had to be a relative.
Yeah.
It can only be claimed once.
Yeah. Isn't that nice?
And by relative, I mean like you have to be a direct relative. Like you can't claim, oh, this is my great-great-grandfather twice removed.
Yeah, this is my uncle through someone's marriage. It has to be immediate family.
Like this is my wife. This is my husband. This is my grandfather. This is my father. This is my mother, my daughter, whatever.
This is my rifle. This is my gun.
Exactly. It had to be close relation. Okay? Uh-huh. And not only was it close relation, but you had to have the death certificate.
Yeah.
And it had to say that they died of COVID. Yep. Specifically died of COVID.
Yep. Yeah, this is, as you just heard her say.
And now she's now come out with Chuck Schumer.
Well, this is 7 months ago, but yeah.
Several months ago. Mm-hmm. When they came out with this program, she was in New York telling people that they need to go and doctor up the death certificates.
Yeah.
7 months ago.
And again, let's just keep in mind, this is not just 7 months ago they were saying to do this. They're also saying to go back beyond
from 7 months ago.
when they said COVID was really an issue. Going
Right.
back to now that they're recognizing it is November of 2018.
which is not true.
No. But they're doing it
Right.
because they can.
Yeah.
Isn't it great?
Isn't it wonderful?
That's fantastic. Aren't you happy?
And it could it was like it was. The way that it was designed was COVID wasn't just like a secondary thing. COVID had to be the reason why you died.
Yeah, well, apparently they've been able to finagle and work around that, and not so much no more.
Not so much no more.
So there you go. Yeah,
Great.
That next video is just a little bit more in depth.
This one here? Mm-hmm. Oh, it's 20 minutes, bro.
I know we don't have to play it. I sent it as a thing for y'all to enjoy and
No, well, we got to
have
do
your heads
something because
explode
like
and-
this is
This goes in a little bit more detail because it's 20 minutes.
yeah.
So give it a play for a little bit.
All
and
right.
then
Help people walk through this process.
Chuck Schumer.
Chucky Schumer.
So we're going to make sure that the people who didn't have the dollars and had to stretch, and those who haven't been able to have burials, because some people are still laying in funeral homes and elsewhere without burials, get those dollars.
Hold on? Did you catch that?
Second thing we're going to do, this law.
Sorry,
applied-
wait, what?
Did you hear what he said? That there are still people who don't haven't been buried yet. This is 7 months ago.
Are you saying that 7 months there is a litany of people who have not been buried but are dead currently in New York City?
Yeah. Because they quote unquote can't afford it.
Cremation's not that expensive.
Yeah, and usually in bigger places like that becomes more popular.
Right. And the morgue will only hold them for so long. Is there a body dumping place that is not the docks?
No, they're getting buried. Just so we're clear, they're being buried and they're being buried properly.
And they're being buried by the government.
Well, no, people are still paying to have it done like it's
Right,
supposed
yeah.
to. Now they're like, oh, I can get $9,000 as a reimbursement to claim it was COVID. Okay.
Yes. Also, that was the other thing. So the other thing was you had to be the party responsible for the burial. That was the other piece that I really liked about the fact is that you can't claim anything unless you were the one who buried them. Did you bury the person? Like, did you pay for it? Yes or no? Then you can't claim it.
But you can try.
And you can get rejected.
So Optimus Prime over on Twitter at DOA Show, dead but not buried. So most New York City voters.
Yes.
For all of 2019, from I believe it is March to the end of 2019, we're going to make sure we renew this in the new bill. We're working on that already. The ARP bill that President Biden proposed.
The ARP bill? Mm-hmm. Not the AARP, but the ARP.
Yeah, and not WKRP. In Cincinnati. Okay, sorry.
Okay, anyway.
So it will apply for all of this year till the COVID crisis ends.
It'll apply until the crisis is over.
Uh-huh. So $9,000.
So never.
Yes.
Always. It'll always apply.
Forever
And ever and ever. As long as you can get COVID on the death certificate. Forever.
Uh-huh. Nights You Say Knee over on Twitter. Nothing good ever came from someone saying, you have to see this.
You're right. Especially if it's us.
This is only a fair and humane thing to do.
Only a fair and humane thing
Oh, no.
to
Sorry.
do.
Sorry. No. Not
No, it
fair and
is.
humane. Fair and humane.
Well, people with class don't say H's. People with class don't want to be humble. They want to be humble. Because they're looking for humility.
It's very honorable of you.
Thank you.
This is the kind of thing our country has done before. And we're glad that we were able to provide this very...
We're glad that we're going to be able to provide.
The man can't do two things at one time.
very
He's
needed relief, and we will keep fighting on this issue and many other issues to make sure that the people of New York and of the country, particularly those who don't have the means to keep going on their own during COVID get the help they need. With that, let me call on the Congresswoman.
Did you hear the way he said it like that?
For that, now let me call on the Congresswoman.
Come on, Heffa.
Hey,
come up here.
you need to come up. It's a little slippy over here. You need to just be careful.
Don't fall, pumpkin. We need you. Big Bull Snarky Jackhole, what have we done to anger you that you were inflicting that nitwit on us right out the gate?
Big Farmer Steve, wow. I haven't been able to listen for a month. I finally get time, and we're leading off with this story. Thanks for making my ears bleed, as if I wanted stressing at work. As if I wasn't stressing at work enough. You're welcome. That's what you get.
Thank you so much, Senator Schumer. And
It's her again.
Thank you so much, Senator.
It's her again.
Senator, thank you so much.
thank you to our community leaders that we have here
Oh,
in
thank
Corona.
you.
Thank you, Luis. Thank you. Here at
Thank
Voces
you.
Latina, Natalia.
Natalia?
Thank you,
Natalia? Okay.
Natalia, and thank you, of course, to Saida Dunstan at Elmcor, who really just helped kick off this this effort in a very major way. You know, about a year ago,
A major very way.
A very, very
New
major
York City
way.
became the epicenter of the epicenter, and right here in
Did you
Corona,
hear? The epicenter of the epicenter.
It's the center of the center.
So it's like the
It's
bath.
the deepest center there is.
It's the inside of the toilet, is it?
Ducky, go down the hall.
not Queens, we had one of the most heavily impacted zip codes in the United States of America when it came to COVID cases. This is when COVID had just hit New York City, and we were just trying to figure out what exactly was happening
What
and
exactly?
how the pandemic was hitting the United States. And it was in that moment that we started to hear from community leaders right here in New York 14 and in Corona and around East Elmhurst that this pandemic was not hitting all of us equally.
It wasn't hitting us equally.
No, it doesn't.
It was
It's racist.
it was
You know
racist
that. You know that, right? Because everything is racist.
and sexist,
Yes.
but
That's-
also awesome. But
And
only when you're part of a team.
only when you're part of a team.
Yeah.
Anything beyond that is BS.
Big Bull Snark Jackal. So the epicenter of the epicenter. So epicenter squared.
Yes. Yes.
I'll go circle for the block.
Oh, darn.
Sweatimus Prime. Welcome to DOAE Show, where the hosts hate the audience and commit this war crime against us, but we're gluttons for punishment, so we keep showing up anyway.
We can't turn it on. It's like a train wreck.
Uh-huh.
Just can't stop.
Nope. Don't stop.
Get it, get it. So let's continue. We still got there's more to this, but we're going to run this out until the end of the break. So
It
enjoy.
was hitting black families hard. It was hitting frontline workers hard. It was hitting
Hold on.
immigrant
Stop.
families extremely hard.
It was hitting frontline workers hard. Okay? The same frontline workers that you're now turning around and saying if you don't get vaccinated that you
You're
have
going to
no
get
job.
fired. Yeah.
Those. So important. Those people are so important.
So important to you.
Oh my goodness.
Working class families.
Working class families.
And it was disproportionately impacting along lines of race and along lines of class.
Right.
So it's racist.
It is.
So we called it.
We did.
Oh, good. Good. I just wanted to make sure that we called it. That's
No, we did.
We did. Okay, good. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we called it.
And so
Shocker.
what we saw was that the pandemic, while it was, should I wait on this?
Walla 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 walla.
Apparently there's a train riding by.
This is a big thing.
No, listen.
This is a big train.
Listen.
We did get money in this bill to make sure the trains keep running.
Yes.
Did you hear that?
What?
He sat there. He's like, "Oh, don't worry. We're going to throw $1 billion into making sure the trains keep running through all this." Did you catch that?
Why do you need to pay more money to make the trains run? The trains are already running.
Well, but you know,
You don't need to pay more money to make the trains run because they're already running and everybody that works it are still working it.
I'm just saying.
And so what we saw was that while this pandemic was hitting all of us, and while we were all in the same storm, we weren't all in the same boat. And
While we were all in the same storm, and we still are technically,
We're not in the same boat.
right. Some of us are on pieces of wood,
Some of us are in dinghies and some of us are on yachts.
and some of us are floating on top of doors that can only hold the weight of one.
Some of us are on dinghies. Some of us, AOC, are dinghies. That's okay.
Stop playing with your dinghy.
We're going to get through this together, folks.
some of us were riding very choppy waters. And what that means was that the communities that were being hardest hit were having higher levels of mortality. And what that means is that when Black,
Yeah, scrape that snow with a brush.
brown,
Broom.
and working class families are getting hit
There you go. Keep brushing it.
All right, you can
disproportionately
stop
hard with
that now.
cases. It means that they're also losing
I could take a photograph from behind you.
more people with higher levels of mortality. And,
Higher
I
levels
lost
of
my
mortality.
dad when I was about 18 years old. In the funeral
I lost my dad when I was 18.
To COVID. I mean, she's not saying that, but I
expenses,
just saying.
haunted and followed my family along with many other families in a similar position.
What? What? Don't.
She's doing the same damn thing as with my grandma.
Yeah, I know.
The pain and the suffering of paying for the funeral, it destroyed my family and haunted us for years.
Even though Granny's still alive.
Granny's still alive and she has a ton of money, but it doesn't matter.
This still goes on. Keep going. This is too good.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
For years. When you suddenly lose a loved one, you're talking about an expense of $4,000, $5,000, $7,000, $10,000. And then during COVID, with overrun funeral facilities, etc., families also are having to deal with having to pay for the storage of the bodies of their own loved ones.
Storage where in
This is
U-Haul?
wrong. And so I'm
Yes.
thrilled to be able to
I'm thrilled.
to have such strong and powerful community leaders here to alert us to this as soon as everything started to hit. Saida Dunstan just called me up right away, and she said, "This is going to be a problem.
It's going to be a problem.
Did you see the reaction that she had? It wasn't just like her reaction wasn't just she called me right away. She had this
Really weird.
like she attacked me sort of mentality in the motions that she was
Yeah,
giving
she
off there.
did.
That wasn't like
I know.
that was like really violent.
I know. She was a little excited there.
She's very excited over this. And it's not good.
Because she's spending more money that,
Nobody has.
nobody has.
Except for her
And Schumer.
and Schumer and Pelosi.
But they're mainly in New York, so.
Whatever. So it doesn't really mean
No.
that much.
No, it doesn't.
Because
But
it,
hey,
it doesn't mean much.
keep going. This is
Probably the same week that everything shut down.
Say
And we got to work right away.
Right away.
And so we brought this up. I brought it up and conference with Senator Schumer, and we made it a priority for our state and for our country. And so once again, if you are a family that lost a loved one, please make sure that you start to document and please make sure that you start to collect all documentation of the costs of burying a loved one. Make sure that you start to assemble this, get your death certificate so that we can make sure that we can reimburse the costs to your family up to $7,000. We have $2
up to
billion
$9 now.
allocated.
Yeah.
And this is
That's a correction she didn't have at
and
that time.
retroactive back to March 2021 at the beginning of the pandemic. So with that, I just want to thank each and every one of you. And
Every
thank,
one of you.
Our community leaders. And I'm just so proud to introduce Saida Dunstan of Elm Corps.
Yeah, I'm done now.
You sure?
Yeah. She's gonna introduce somebody else, and I didn't even want to listen to her a second time.
Yeah,
But it is 2 for Tuesday, so I mean, there's that.
Blazing slugs. Can someone please put a sock in AOC's mouth? She swallowed her ball gag.
I don't want to think about that.
Yeah.
Her mouth is that big, though.
Big Pharma Steve also on Twitter. So it was hitting healthcare workers and you want to help them. Like you help the ones out of the state that came out to help you and you thank them by taxing the ever-loving snot out of them when they got home. Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, we completely understand that one.
Yep.
That's great.
I loved it.
So good.
We've pissed everyone off.
Today. That's awesome. Hats off. Well done.
Huzzah. Huzzahs all around.
I'm blaming Chris for this.
Right? No, well...
And Dylan.
I found it.
I'm blaming Chris and Dylan for those
I
things.
found it.
Those are
The
Chris.
random things that play on my phone while I'm at work.
Like, just be happy. I will not play the audio of Joe Biden's speech to the UN
That was painful.
because he listened to it today,
The whole thing.
and I won't. I just won't.
And the best part is the only thing out of all of it that
Like we get stories around it, but still.
it made me giggle because there was a lot of it. He's like talking to obviously the other national leaders, and even though they're all wearing masks, I could just sense some of them because he called certain nations out, but not called them out. I just kind of sensed this. They kind of had this giant middle finger.
Yeah.
It's like, screw
Is
you,
that-
dude. We're doing what we want to do.
that thing and stuff and
Yep.
things. Yep.
It was kind of funny.
It was great.
It was magical.
Magical. We got one more video for you guys. It's a short one. But this is mainly for... Actually, this would have been for Carrie, but it's kind of for Dylan here on this one.
So stupid.
You made me listen to AOC.
That's fair.
It's
It's fair.
fair. All's fair in radio.
This is Defenders Live.
Okay. Adam W. Johnson over Twitter. My mom's account at the Veterans Nursing Home covered the entire cost of her cremation. Granted, it was the money she was saving up for Christmas, but it was enough. And it wasn't that expensive. Keep in mind that when the government pays, they set the rules. Also following up with when the government pays a specific industry, their rates go up. This will significantly affect people paying for it themselves.
So here's the thing, right? So I understand where you're going with that one, but in this bill, in this ruling that they have for FEMA, it doesn't pay the mortuary. It doesn't pay for the burial itself. Okay,
It's a reimbursement
It's
check.
a reimbursement to the people who already paid.
Yeah, so it's
you get cash personally because you paid for it.
your cash and you want it now.
But yeah, up to $9,000 you can get if you have to personally bury somebody. Mm-hmm. But if their insurance pays for it, technically you can't pay. You can't get it.
Oh, they'll find a way.
Oh, I know, but you shouldn't be able to because the insurance paid it.
Well, there's a lot of things you shouldn't do, but
Right. I'm just saying.
shouldn't have
I'm saying
vaccines mandated.
technically
and things
there's
like that
no
either. But
that is not a loophole in the ruling. Like there are musts in the ruling, and that's one of the musts is you had to have paid for it.
well,
And they pay up to $9,000. So you can pay for as much as you want, but they only going to reimburse you for $9,000.
isn't that nice?
Isn't that special? So I got this one for you. It's really quick. I'm not going to throw the video up, but
Why not?
Well, okay, hold on.
It adds to the effect. It really does.
It really
'cause
does.
This guy looks just
Peachy
delightful.
Keen. Here we go.
And he's-
I'll do that one. Here you go.
This is an easy one. If you espouse to the idea that Jesus was born of a virgin birth, then Jesus could not have had male chromosomes. Therefore, Jesus had only female chromosomes.
Tough to argue with that logic.
And presented as masculine. So, Jesus was non-binary. And in terms of male and female, in the Hebrew, the word that was used for "and" describes a spectrum. Masculine and feminine is a sociological construct that is dependent upon the society with which you are talking about.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I feel he is wrong.
You feel he's wrong?
Just a teensy weensy
Okay, well,
little
so here's his logic, right?
bit. Okay.
So his logic is Jesus was born from a virgin.
And I got that. I get that.
Okay, so he only has female chromosomes,
That's
logically speaking.
because, again, let's talk about this one for a moment.
Immaculate birth is different than regular.
Well, I was going to say that would, but then his argument then would imply that theoretically that would mean that Mary is asexual, which means technically she should still have some male chromosome then.
Right, herself.
Yes.
Yes.
So his logic is completely blown right out of the water right there.
Right.
But again, name one other asexual birth. As in humanity.
Human birth that came from one being.
person, no help from anything. Not this, well, we finally have got men who are pregnant. And they're really just women changing into men.
Dudes.
No. Straight up, you have one human being, a single female, who gave birth from nothing.
Right.
No, a verified record of it didn't happen. There was no doing the do's and none of that stuff.
Right.
You can't find it. You're not going to find it
Well, that's because
it's crap.
human. It's kind of the dual genetic code there.
Is that what it is?
We have the double helix. The genetic code has to go from one male and one female, and then boom,
And dreidel.
made you out of clay. No, the other thing is, here, hold on. Let me get to somewhere in here.
And presented as masculine. So, Jesus was non-binary. And in terms of male and female, in the Hebrew, the word that was used for "and" describes a spectrum. Masculine.
And does not describe a spectrum.
Apparently, in Hebrew, it does by this person's standard.
Because this guy, and I don't know, so I'm about to be very ugly, but this guy clearly does not look like someone who would be well versed in Hebrew.
Well, he's a she, so
I'm sorry, what?
she's a man.
What do you mean she's a man?
That's a transgendered person.
Oh, fantastic.
That's why his voice is so freaking high, because he's not really a he.
I mean, I don't know what I don't have anything. I'm fine, whatever. This individual is not exactly and I just by appearances doesn't appear to be anyone who's well versed. Because and I'm going to go on this limb, is most people who talk like this, most people who throw arguments out here like this, most people who try to argue like this,
Yes.
never actually do any real research.
Right.
Most of 'em.
They usually go to like
They hear
a
it,
random site,
or
they
no.
hear it about something,
They hear it from somewhere.
and
Somebody
they
else
keep it in
says
their
something.
head, and that's it.
And that's it. After that, it's just kind of left hanging. And then they come off as, well, look at these people. They're so wonderful. They're so intellectual. It's like the one TikTok that I've seen going around where some guy who's not a Christian, like actually an atheist or something along those lines, is sitting there trying to argue that, the Bible in Hebrew, in the actual Hebrew, it doesn't say in the beginning, it says in a beginning.
Yeah.
And the point is, like, does it matter?
Well, to him it does.
How does a and the make a difference?
So
We're talking.
here's the way that I understand it from all the ones that I've seen. Okay, because it's more than just one now.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so from all the ones that I've understood and seen and watched and kind of gone through, in the beginning dictates that it is the singular, the only, the one, the start. In a beginning
Okay.
is more like a fairy tale. It's an idea that there was a beginning, and in a beginning, here is how it might go.
Yeah, but you're missing the actual argument at that point.
That basically is the argument, though.
No, I'm saying, but they're missing the argument. The argument is, overall, they're missing the whole point. The whole point of it is in that at the beginning, a beginning, there was a beginning. There was a point where God created everything. That's the point. You can, shuffle the verbiage around all you want to. The statement is still going to come out the same. In the beginning, in a beginning. The point of that verse, at the beginning of that, is all saying the same thing. At a point,
Yeah.
God created everything.
Yes.
And you want to sit here and argue the semantics of the letter A.
Yes. It's like the meaning of the word is.
Just like the arguing with, if you're going to believe in the fact of a virgin birth, then that means that Jesus was non-binary because he didn't have it. If you're
It means that you didn't read the damn Bible.
Well, but
It's what it means.
well, there's that. If you're going to,
It wasn't just a virgin birth. It was a miraculous birth, which, by the way, a virgin birth would be miraculous. But inside,
that's what we get ready to say. If you're gonna
angels
play that game, if you're gonna play that game of yes, there is a virgin birth,
yeah, okay.
then everything you're losing sight of it. You're trying to argue other stuff.
You're arguing now. What you're saying is, okay, I believe you at your word, but I'm taking out all the mystical parts out of it. I'm taking the angels out. I'm taking the word of God out. I'm taking all the rest of it. I'm literally just taking the part that says Mary gave birth as a virgin.
Yeah,
And separating that out from the rest of the biblical text.
yeah, you're completely removing the point, or you're missing the point.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is that Jesus was born of a virgin. Period. And if you're going to sit there and go along that vein and go, well, yeah, that's the truth. Well, then if you're playing in that line, then you have to follow it to the end.
Right. Well, actually, you have to start at the beginning and then keep going past that point.
No, and I got that, but you get my point. Is sitting here, well, he was non-binary. Let's just throw this out here for just a moment.
Okay, he was non-binary.
So what?
He was also dark-skinned.
Don't you know? It's
What? No, okay, I'm sorry. No, he wasn't non-binary. Why? Because he was the perfect human.
yeah, because that's kind of what he do.
Can't be non-binary genetically and be considered, 100% human.
Yeah. I mean, again, who cares at that point? You're arguing semantics. You're trying to prove a point on something that doesn't make a difference. It doesn't.
It would, okay? So it would make a difference
Really? Would it?
under one circumstance.
And that would be
The rest of the Bible was false.
not necessarily. Well,
Yes, yeah, that's it. The rest of the Bible, specifically the rest of the Bible around his birth, the rest of the story around his birth was false. It had to be false. Okay?
yeah.
If you take it from that line of thinking, everything else is false. The only thing that was real was that she was a virgin and she gave birth.
But I mean, again, if you're somebody who's trying to argue that and fight all that from the beginning, then
You came at it wrong, bud.
yeah, then how?
And then you're like, oh, well, I
It
know.
is the weirdest hill
I
to
know
die
Hebrew
on.
because and means more than just and.
But again, it's a weird hill to die on.
I know.
A really weird hill.
And means a spectrum.
No, it does. And does not ever mean a spec. Like, dude.
And means addition to. In addition to. In addition to.
Yeah. There's no
this.
spectrum.
In addition to, there's also this. And I mean, you can continue adding.
I love how people can turn around and also, throw out and explain the intent and all this other crapola of people in the past,
Okay.
but they can't figure their own selves out.
Here you go. Okay, so okay, let's say in Hebrew, and actually represented a spectrum. Let's say we have a Jewish person that listens to our show, and she corrects us every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she listens to us on replay, so we'll probably get this in like 3 days. But all right, does and primarily represent a spectrum? I'm just asking. Let's say that it does. Okay. Let's say that it does.
Hypothetically. Hypoallergenically.
Also in English, technically and all does represent a spectrum. You want to know how?
Because it includes all the different ones when you say
You
and.
can just keep on adding and.
Adding and to it, yeah.
You could just say and this, and this, and this,
Yeah.
and this. So, or is a choice between one or another. And
You know what we should be playing in the background right now?
I need conjunction junction.
Conjunction junction. What's your function?
Got and button all to help me get the job done. Anyway, let's. So yes, in some instances, and does mean more than one thing.
It does.
It can, but it doesn't necessarily represent spectrum. Okay, can we just?
Okay.
Can we settle that? It needs to be there.
Sure.
It's right.
No, I know. Because you're like, what the? Come on.
Deuce.
Come on. Really? Adam W. Johnson, I knew Jesus. I worked with Jesus. You, sir, are no Jesus. Boyd Benston.
Oh, have you seen
love
the new intellectual things?
No.
The guy that comes out and he's like talking about the Council of Nicaea and all the rest of it.
I've heard bits
How-
and pieces of it, I think.
How like Jesus wasn't a name that was actually given
Oh,
to
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
His name was Yeshua and all the rest of it.
And it doesn't translate it to Jesus and da-da-da-da-da.
It actually translates as Joshua.
Actually, that doesn't. But
whatever.
Again, you're going to argue the semantics.
Jesus was named because of two things. Jesus Christ was named because of two things. They took Zeus and they called him the son of Zeus, so Jesus.
No.
So you have Jesus.
No.
That's how you have Jesus.
No.
And then
Again.
and then they took
No. No. Again, you're arguing about something that's not important. You know what I mean? It's like this. It's like these people who I see a lot of videos of this. Is the jab the mark of the beast?
Right.
Is this the end times? Blah blah
Sure.
blah. Is it post trib? Is it pre trib? Is it how's all this stuff? Blah, blah. All these different people are throwing all of these type videos and stuff out there like that.
Sure, yeah.
And my brain goes to one thing. What does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
What does it matter? The important question is where
it the end of the world?
Well, no. Where are you spending eternity at?
Yeah,
Because
where's your
if you're
faith?
on, according to Christianity and according to the Bible, if you're saved, if you're on that side, who the hell cares if it's the end of the world? You should be happy to a point because that means all this BS is getting ready to be over with and we're going to be perfect. We don't have to worry about being tired and angry and everything. And if you're on the other side, if you're not saved, if you're not part of that, then you have something to be worried about.
Right.
That's the question. That's the important part. Who gives a flying fig if dinosaurs were in the Bible or not? Who cares?
The answer is yes.
The Nephilim thing is a whole other thing. Is getting on my damn nerves.
You could be a Nephilim.
Shut the hell up. I'm gonna niffle my foot up somebody's ass here in a minute. It drives me nuts.
You could be a Nephilim.
You're worrying about the stupidness. You literally are missing the forest through the trees.
Did you know that the word Nephilim also is the same word that they used for miscarriages? And not just any miscarriages, but abortion.
Oh my God.
Abortive miscarriages in Hebrew. So Nephilims are the discarded children of abortions.
That's
You know what? Actually,
in context, that's not right either, but whatever.
right. Okay, but if that was the case,
Okay.
that would mean that you and I were definitely not Nephilim.
Everyone who's alive is not a Nephilim.
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
And if
But
that,
wait, there's more.
if that was the case, so that would mean that God took the soul of that being and changed it dramatically from his original intent.
Yeah, in my understanding of God, he
doesn't do that.
that. Yeah.
Doesn't do that. Also, big props to Big Pharma Steve over there going in with the Sound of Music. Started from the very beginning.
That's a very good place to start. A Joe, a dear.
A female deer. Ray!
The stream of going on. I know.
Me.
Nice to say knee over on Twitter. The words from and to together would be indicative of a spectrum. That's usually your first clue there, Sherlock. Very good.
Yes. Sweatimus Prime over there at Dylan Lyles right now. And it's Alec Baldwin pouring a very large glass of scotch. That's not unheard of.
No.
Also asking for a friend, Jackal. Hebrew also has 37 different words for love. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. Love is a spectrum. Actually, that is one case I will say. The word love is a spectrum of ideas.
No, it's not a spectrum.
Yes.
No,
It's a rainbow.
it's not a spectrum. There's a reason why in Greek there's 4 different variations. In Hebrew, I don't know if
There's
there really is 7,
37-ish,
but
whatever.
there's a boatload.
Right.
There's a reason why if you actually look at ancient languages, there's a reason why they have multiple words for things like love and everything like that. They have multiple words for multiple words.
There's love of food. There's love of person. There's love of life.
Because they said what they meant and they meant what they said. Humans, as time has gone on, as smart as we've become,
We've dumbed
allegedly
down our language.
Yes, we've turned around and made it into the spectrum. You say love and just throw the word out there. If you say I love and don't even finish it right there, there are 500 people in the room. Almost all 500 are going to have something different to think about.
You say love is just a word, just 4 letters in a row, just a thing that people say, or they never tell you so.
I hate you. Damn it. But you get my point is that when people said, agape,
Right.
in love, it was meant that exactly what they said. There's none of this nuance. Because how many, and I'm going to probably shoot myself in the foot with this one. But how many conversations have men had with women? A woman comes in the room and she's got a look on her face.
Right.
Well, what's wrong? Are you mad? No, I'm not mad. And you go around in circles. I'm not mad. I'm frustrated. I'm disappointed. I'm this and I'm that and I'm that.
Those are all words for mad.
It is. That's what I'm saying. In ancient, languages, yeah. That's how you said it. That's what you said, and people will go, okay,
Because they meant something different.
that was the norm.
Right.
It's not normal for us. So, like you just said, we sit here and roll our eyes, going, "No, it's still mad. You're still mad."
It's dumb it down a little bit.
Yeah, we've completely dumbed ourselves to this point of like, well, no, it doesn't matter. We don't need to have this. And
We don't need adjectives.
here's the fun part about, I say fun part, it's here's the reason why they do it this way is because anybody can be easily manipulated in nuance.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're not specific about something, if one word has all these different variants and variables and changes and spectrums and all this BS,
Then the nuance in that is just lost.
Yeah.
You get lost in it,
and you may think you understand,
but you don't.
but you don't,
You have
because
no clue.
they're going to turn around and lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Here's something that not
Adam W. Johnson over on Twitter, real fast.
Oh, yeah,
real
go ahead.
fast. When my wife's mad, all she says is, "Why do you have to be such an a-hole?" I always know. Yeah.
I mean,
No, but
Why?
I mean,
Why do
every
you?
guy. Just so we're clear, every guy knows when his woman's mad.
yes.
The thing about it is we will say, "Why are you mad?" And they will come back with, "I'm not mad. I'm angry. which is another fun one that drives me banana sandwich. Angry and mad are the same thing.
They are the exact same thing.
But you go, "I'm frustrated. I'm disappointed. I'm just, I'm stressed. I'm
Flustered.
this and this and this and this." I'm like, well, your face says one thing. It just says
You're
mad.
Yeah. The face only gives off a general idea.
Yeah. And so, anyway.
Anywho, yeah, it's something that's that it's not so obtuse. In an interview that would likely cause the woke left to have a fit,
No, what?
Daniel Craig, who portrays Ian Fleming's international British spy James Bond
James Bond.
in the latest 3 movies that they've had.
I know. I don't think he's got but like 1 or 2 more left.
Oh,
in
this is
him.
the last one for him.
Oh, is it?
No
Okay.
Time to Die is the latest one that's come out.
Wait a minute.
It's coming out.
Hold on. His last movie is No Time, to,
Time
Die.
to Die.
So technically even though James Bond doesn't die,
Right, ever.
him playing James Bond dies in No Time to Die. Okay.
Yep. His James Bond is over.
Oh no.
Yeah. He faced questions from magazines about who should replace him. And
Okay.
told the outlet that women should not be tapped for that role.
Ooh, he's tapped?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to tap women without their permission.
Right.
That's called rape.
The debate about who should follow Craig in the next 007 has been ongoing since the days that the star revealed No Time to Die would be his very last Bond film. Speculation has swirled around a number of Englishmen as possible replacements, including Tom Hardy. Bane
Yeah.
from Batman.
Which, I mean,
No,
really?
no.
I don't know.
He's
I haven't heard him without the mask on.
no. Tom Hiddleston. Loki.
I was gonna say that's Loki. Isn't
Loki.
It? Yeah.
No, he's Loki already. You can't.
I can't. Yeah,
you
he's
can't
too
use him now. He's Loki.
Too ingrained.
Idris Elba.
That one might be good.
That I could do that.
I think I could go that route.
I could go that way.
You know what? The more I'm thinking about it, especially
Idris Elba? Yeah.
of the 3,
Idris Elba, yeah,
hands
completely
down.
hands down, done.
But the more I'm thinking about it, no, I think
He could make a really good one
He could. Yeah.
because he's already the black, 007's already the black sheep of the
Uh
of the lot.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah. I like
Maybe right there. That'd be all right. Yeah, but as society has become more woke, discussions have grown about the possibility of a woman being given the job. They tried it with Doctor Who. It didn't do too well.
No, it didn't. They're going back to a guy.
Yeah, it didn't work.
They haven't announced who it is, but they're going back to a guy.
Yeah, it hasn't worked. Actually, it lost almost half of its viewership.
Yeah, it did. Well, because they took that one and made it entirely
Woke.
about
Woke.
It was all social.
Complete woke.
And they completely. I haven't seen any of those particular
I have.
Doctor Who's.
I have.
Okay, so then you could, from what I've been told,
I saw
and
the
you
first
can
season.
confirm
I
this.
saw the first season of that.
Erickson or Whitmore.
Erickson.
And that's crazy because Erickson was horrible.
Erickson all the way.
Erickson was horrible.
And he hated the role.
He hated it. You could see it through the entire season. And she
Erickson all the way, bud.
Yeah. I just that's what I was told, but I wanted to verify.
Yeah.
It's
It's not even a debate.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I've been told too. And I'm like, daggone, really?
No. Yeah.
But we can go into that later. I've heard no, seriously, I've heard of so many.
Yeah, no, Doctor
Good
number
suggestion.
9 versus Doctor number 14.
I think it's 14.
Is it 14? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
14 because Yeah, because Capaldi was 13.
Capaldi was 13.
Yeah,
Yeah. I know.
the new generations line. Anyway. Wow. Yeah.
Ooh,
And I
Adam
liked
W.
Capaldi,
Johnson. Forget the stupid thing. Who cares about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
article? Adam W. Johnson. Unpopular opinion. Daniel Craig is the best Bond. I'm going to be honest with you. I've never watched
Also,
any of
hey,
his.
LeVar Burton is still available. Just saying.
LeVar Burton. Can you? The only reason why they'll never give it to him,
He's not English.
and he can't. I don't believe he could do an English accent.
Well,
No. Here's the deal. You have seen him for
Years.
almost 3 decades in
Forever.
film
Forever.
as a straight, regular American accent.
Yeah.
For him to go suddenly English,
it'd be a bombshell for sure.
it would be garbage.
Yeah.
Everybody would watch and be like, "This is crap. This is crap."
Yeah.
And you know it.
Peekaboo Starkey Jackal. I was today years old when I learned Bane is also Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, I know. It.
Eccleston. You mean
It's
Eccleston?
I know Eccleston. I call
we
him.
don't care.
I call him Erickson because he's grumpy.
We hate him anyway.
I don't.
He's trash. Like,
I knew it wasn't Erickson, but I knew if I
As
said
far-
that, it
yeah.
was close.
Yeah. As far as Doctor Who's go, he's trash.
Yeah. Well, especially when it's followed up by Tennant.
Yeah.
Even Matt Smith is better than him. And
that took a while for me to get used to.
I know.
Matt Smith took a really long. But okay, so
But by the end,
oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
like you did the one.
You did a good job, our kid.
You did real good, kid.
You done good.
I'm just saying.
I think we missed the timer.
Yeah, we did.
Oh well. Oh, we're in the commercial break.
We're in a commercial break, so I'm gonna go get coffee.
Go get coffee real quick.
God knows where it stopped.
I don't know. We missed the timer. I forgot to push the levers. I'm sorry.
I couldn't help it. I was doing it too.
Yeah, you were doing it too. Oh well. Second hour. Don't hurt yourself now. Oh well. Pull it back.
I did. Is it back?
Yeah, it's back. It's good. It's all right. You got it now. Yeah. Wow, just destroy our entire backdrop.
That's fine.
It's fine. Ain't no problems.
Cares.
All right, I'm going to switch over to the glitch.
There you go.
There we go.
Make it at least pretend like we're official.
We're officially on break. We forgot it.
Sorry.
Oops.
I don't think we missed it by that much.
Oh, 2 minutes.
Was it?
Or a minute and a half because it's 57.
Yeah.
So a minute and a half is when it starts. 57 and a half. Anyway. And sorry, Jackal. No. Whitaker was no. Her acting is okay. Like her acting is okay, and she does enjoy the role. But that's about it.
See, I wish it would have done it more naturally. If it had been done any other time other than during the woke generation, I think it would have went over better. I think.
Yeah.
Because everything when she come along, it was in that middle of the
It was
whole.
in the
Well,
woke
we've
life.
got to make everything fit, and you've got to be inclusive, and
Yeah, it was woke life, and
and that's what made it suck because it felt forced.
Jason Statham
As Bond,
I can't see it. Transporter, not Bond. Can't see it.
yeah, because he can't. I don't know if he can play quite the cool guy. Like
his almost 90% of his stuff has been backwoods,
Yeah.
brawler.
yeah,
No,
I'm not saying he wouldn't be. He's not good, but man,
even when he was doing like Transporter, where he was high end and all the rest of it, he still had the like gruffness.
yeah, he was still very much a redneck.
of the Brits.
Yeah,
A British redneck in many ways.
really weird.
Rough Rider. Womp womp. Oh my goodness.
Uber. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm loving it.
Really?
What?
I just can't. Well, okay, no, I can understand the fact that people wouldn't know that Venom was also Bane because they sound so different,
Yeah.
like the movies.
Tom Baker is the only doctor. I
I like the Tom Baker.
I
Doctor.
really do, too.
I do. It's really good.
can't say the only. I'm sorry.
Not the only.
I think it goes
It goes pretty deep there.
It goes Tennant, Smith, Capaldi.
I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I get up when I'm bleeding, ready, breathing. I'll never back down.
This is the collision of common sense and comedy. This is Defenders Live.
Thought I was 6 feet under.
Oh boy. Yeah, we kind of missed that break a little bit there.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's what happens. We get out on Nerd Run there, and we just kind of keep going.
Yeah.
Whoops. Sorry. Yeah. Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Howdy doody.
Yeah.
Howdy.
Well, at least if you're listening on radio.
Yeah, if you were watching in YouTubes or anywhere else,
We kept going, so.
Sorry.
Whoops.
Just kept on rolling.
Yeah, Blazing Slug over there. Sorry, guys. Sean Connery was the best Bond and the only one I would want to shag.
I don't know if that was part of the, questionnaire, but okay, thank you for that tidbit of information.
Lovely.
It's been a while since I've seen some of those. But no, I think I'm kind of with you on that one.
Yep.
I don't know. What was it? Roger Moore?
Yeah.
Is that his name? Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
he was
afraid of guns.
I know, but
That makes him done. Like his acting was okay, but he was afraid of guns. I'm sorry. You
I
can't
don't want to do this anymore.
You can't be a Bond and also be afraid of guns.
You sure?
Yes.
Bond doesn't believe in killing.
Right. Unless you also all the people that he blew up or just killed or shot or poisoned or stabbed or not all of those. Disregard all that.
Sweat of His Pride makes a good point. The War Doctor didn't get near enough screen time.
Oh, I agree.
agree.
I agree. But they did that on purpose. You know that, right?
Yeah.
It was on purpose. The War Doctor technically isn't a doctor.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
He was a mistake.
It was a flub of the,
Actually,
timey-wimey stuff.
He chose to be that way. So it wasn't a mistake.
Well, but
It was a choice.
by the story, it was a mistake.
Yeah. It's like it was a choice. It was a bad choice. But it was a choice.
It was still a choice.
Still a choice. Just a bad one.
Just a, it's a bad one.
Just a bad choice.
So horrible, really.
Like going to get panties out of a vending machine.
Don't start with that again.
Bad choice.
Hashtag do not recommend.
0 stars.
0 stars. Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I think the answer to that is a big fat no.
Yeah, it's kind of like this right here. Survey.
This is funny.
Yeah. In a worrying trend for free speech in college campuses, a growing number of students are expressing support for shouting down campus speakers that they disagree with, or even using violence to stop the speaker from speaking. A new study finds. The Foundation for Individual Rights in Education, also known as FIRE,
Is it really what that?
F-I-R-E,
I know. I'm just.
a nonprofit group that supports free speech in institutions of higher education, published its 2021 college free speech rankings on Tuesday. The rankings assessed free speech climate in various colleges and universities campuses, but by surveying the students.
Okay.
who went to those schools. They surveyed, gathered opinions of more than 37,000 students at 159 of America's largest and most prestigious campuses.
Oh, good. Because nothing says, quality answers like, elitist snothead kids.
Well, it's specifically about free speech on campus.
No, I got that. But again, you're going to elitist snot-nosed kids.
Well, it's 159 of them. There's not going to be all snot-nosed.
Okay.
Okay.
If that helps you sleep at night.
It does.
That's- okay. No,
it
that's
makes
fine.
me feel better.
As long as that makes you feel
Yeah.
better.
Quote, the existing ranking system do not look at the core aspect of higher education, the ability to think, discuss, and speak freely. That came from the FIRE executive director, Robert Shibley.
Robert Shibley.
Quote, our rankings guide prospective students and their parents towards the school that value free speech and open inquiry. They also help us hold schools accountable and demand that they do better.
Okay.
Compared to past surveys, this year's more students expressed support for silencing speakers that don't agree with, even by violent means. The survey found that 66% of students supported shouting down campus speakers that they don't agree with, an increase of 4% over of 2020.
Because, that's what you
The
are
rate of
supposed to
inflation
do.
also applies to free speech directly. Yeah, additionally, 23% supported violence to stop the speaker, an increase of 5% from last year. Yeah, two colleges that expressed the strongest support for violence against the speakers were elite women's colleges, Wesley College and Barnard College. Or Barnard. Barnard.
It's just so dumb. None of these kids are taught anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're at these schools. Their parents are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for them to go hang out in this place, and they're not learning anything. Because let's take this for just a moment. For whatever reason, they're talking about speakers that they don't agree with. Okay,
Right. Yeah.
So let's, for fun's sake, completely put all of these kids
In one basket.
into one basket.
Right.
Now let's turn the tables and put it on against them. Now them and their kind are talked down. Let's throw violence at them. Let's throw
Right.
that. Oh no, that's
No,
not
you can't
right.
do that. No.
But it's okay if you do it.
yeah. It's
And there's
okay
all
if
these-
they do it to you.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And even when you try talking to them from that angle, they're like, "Oh no, it's okay because X, Y, and Z." No,
Because I don't agree with you.
yeah, it doesn't. It's not how that. It's not, how that works.
We need to actually sit down and have a conversation, not you shout me out.
Jackass.
Or actually try to exude violence, which is terrible. It's a terrible idea for most college kids, especially on those campuses, to try and exude violence because they don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, Claremont McKenna College topped the list as the most friendly to free speech,
Is it now?
followed by University of Chicago,
What?
University of New Hampshire, Emory University, and then Florida State.
Oh, Florida State.
Of the worst for free speech, DePaul University.
Okay.
DE, capital P, AUW.
No,
DePaul.
I know what you mean. I'm just saying.
Yeah, followed by Marquette,
Screw Marquette.
Louisiana State,
Okay.
Wake Forest,
There's a fun one.
and Boston College. Yeah, Wake Forest University is in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, because they got pissed off, because they pissed off the church in Wake Forest.
Back in the 50s or 60s, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really funny story.
It really
Ask
is.
us to tell it to you one time.
It's good times. Yeah. Anyway, it has something to do with
One day it'll
the
make
demon deacons in the church just didn't go well. Anyway, more than 80% of the students surveyed said that they self-censored their viewpoints on college campuses at least some of the time. 21% said that they censored themselves pretty often. Racial inequity, abortion, and gun control are among the most difficult controversial topics to discuss. Well, duh. Duh.
It's just so dumb.
Duh.
These kids just don't. They're dumb. God
Yeah.
bless them.
Mm-hmm.
You're morons.
Right. God bless you.
We.
I wish the best.
Yeah. I
Simply the best. Better than all the rest.
really.
Yes.
This is why we can't have nice things.
No.
This is why we can't have nice things. President Joe Biden delivered a speech on Tuesday, that'll be today, before the United Nations General Assembly, in which
that
he
was today.
claimed that the freedoms, quote unquote, of the world, or of the world countries are interconnected.
We are the world.
Just that, and I heard that live. Again,
Yeah.
I sat through that entire thing.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah. I almost slit my wrists.
At work.
Yeah, at work, and then jumped off a ladder.
Oops.
I almost did.
Oops.
The fact that the freedoms of world countries are interconnected. There are no freedoms really anywhere else in the world. There's not really any here.
No.
You want to talk about
That's why they're interconnected.
Here's the thing. No. You want to talk about freedoms of the world are interconnected.
Sure, yeah. Let's go.
Let's talk about Australia.
Australia?
Yeah. Which is in
You mean that place that's so completely, absolutely shut down that they're rioting in the streets
they
right
are.
now?
It is amazing. Some of the videos and stuff that I've seen.
Burning shit down because they want to leave their house.
And people are getting arrested, beaten for
Going out
they're
and
looking.
viewing the sunset?
There is one, and I saw that. I didn't send you into this stuff yet.
Oh, goodness.
There is one I saw.
Uh-huh.
They I don't know when the date of this particular video was put out, but they were looking for a guy who sneezed in an elevator. By the way, he was by himself in said elevator.
But he was caught on camera sneezing
Yeah, they found out he sneezed, and they're trying to find him.
because they're going to find him.
No. They're not going to fine him. They're going to arrest him.
Oh, right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But, freedoms.
Freedoms.
You jackass.
Yeah.
Quote, our security, our prosperity, and our very freedoms are interconnected. In my view, as never before. And so I believe we must work together as never before. Because I've never stood up here and talked like this. Never before.
Never before.
The number of Republican figures criticized the president. Very good, Polly. Go sit down. The number of Republican figures criticized the president for never using the word China at any point during his address. He didn't. He talked about Ethiopia. He talked about Iran. He talked to all kinds of different places up and down, called some people out in a roundabout, passive-aggressive, hippie sort of way that he is. But never once did he say anything about China or about Russia.
And about their horrible humanitarian issues.
Yep.
Yeah, human rights is not a problem for them, right?
No.
Yeah, it's a fine area.
It's okay. It's fine.
We're all interconnected.
Quote, President Joe Biden didn't even say China during his UN speech. He should clearly state the threat that China poses to the world, not pretend it doesn't exist. That,
But-
according to Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas.
But he can't do that in Unga.
Why not?
Because Unga is mostly controlled by China, Russia, and the rest of them now.
That's true, actually.
There are more people against everybody living and breathing free than there are for in Unga.
It's really weird how that works out, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and we still pay for it, by the way.
We do.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
We pay for all the uns,
Thank God. Because,
including Kim.
yeah, well, he did even talk about that.
I know.
No. I don't think you do.
No, I
The
do.
way he referred to them that threw me off, and maybe I misheard
the
him.
Koreas?
No, he referred to it as one single place.
Korea.
Korea, the peninsula of Korea. He did not refer to it as...
He said the Korean peninsula?
the way he was talking about it was as one whole nation, not a north and south.
You bastard.
Yeah. Now, again, I was very upset. I was also at work because listening to the man makes you want
Upset.
to, drown a bag of orphan puppies. I was
Just to counter
a
it.
little. My tumor was twitching severely.
Yeah.
So it is
not a tumor.
It's highly possible I misunderstood him. It's highly possible I missed something. I just didn't have the heart to rewind it to find out what he said. But he did. I don't know what the context was, but he referred to Korea as one.
Yeah.
Not North and South Korea.
Right.
As one thing.
Oh, buddy.
It made me angry.
Yeah, so Blazing Slug over there, that's not freedom being interconnected. That's the chains of slavery.
Oh, now there you go talking about slavery again.
How look at
dare
you. What's wrong with you? Oh my gosh.
I swear.
Slavery this, slavery that.
Slavery. Oh.
Watch out for the football. Jan.
All right, Jan. Just saying. Anyway. Quote, so I think it is indicative of his objective of laying out our proactive agenda of the big issues that we can work together on, including with China. That according to White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki.
Sachs.
She said that while responding to a question about the absence of the word from the president's speech. Stephen Miller, who worked as a senior advisor and White House director of speech writing for President Donald Trump, tweeted, quote, if you're looking for a definition of negotiating from a position of weakness, self-doubt and fear, this is it.
And then
because he did do that
to the video.
Yeah, because he turned around and sat there. In his speech, he made the comment about how America will lead by example, and how did he word it? We would lead by example and would be an example of leading, or some weird, stupid. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense, but whatever, you moron.
Whatever you are, yeah.
You moron.
Uh-huh.
During his remarks, Biden did call for decrying, quote, the targeting and oppression of racial, ethnic, and religious minorities, end quote, whether it takes place in Xinjiang, northern Ethiopia, or elsewhere.
Why did you call out Ethiopia?
I told you, he hit him a couple times. He called him out a couple times.
Why are you calling out Ethiopia?
Well, if I know.
Are you saying that we're going to war with Ethiopia?
It's a possibility.
Is that what's up now? You're going to pull a Barack Obama and throw us in the middle of nowhere?
It's highly possible, yes. Just throwing that possibility out here.
You're just going to throw us in the middle of Africa again.
During his former U.S. ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, who served under former President Trump, blasted Biden's speech. Quote, Biden's speech did not feature an America that leads. Leadership takes strength. What we saw was a U.S. president repeating feel-good talking points. End quote. That according to Haley and her tweets.
It's about right.
Oh, it absolutely was right.
That's,
it was an embarrassment.
It really was. And then Nikki Haley, so I really wish Nikki Haley didn't leave her post at the UN.
I know.
She did a phenomenal job.
Oh, of course she did. But she got tired of being the only one doing it right.
Yeah, even though it was during the Trump administration, because she was getting burnt.
Yep. And it's one of those, you can only do it right for so long before you just get tired of being the bad guy at all times.
At all the times.
So there you go.
That's just what it is. So speaking of the O'Bidens, a new book from political reporter Ben Schreckinger.
Ben what?
Schreckinger.
I gotcha.
Reportedly confirms the authenticity of at least two emails from the Hunter Biden laptop, vindicating the New York Post reporting from last October on the Biden family's business dealings with Ukraine partners.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, we have that.
Yeah, but I liked mine. I didn't want...
It wasn't the big thing.
It was the
Slider.
that's a dramatic,
Yeah,
like, oh my goodness. No, mine's like literally a half-hearted, it's like, golf clap. Yeah, it's that.
It's more like the Price is Right, you failed sounder.
Boom. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Translation, you're a giant loser.
Yeah, the Politico's Playbook newsletter reports that Schreckinger's new book, The Bidens, Inside the First Family's 50-Year Rise to Power.
That should frighten you.
That title by itself should be enough to scare some 50 years.
50.
An independent source who had access to Hunter Biden's emails confirmed that he received 2015 emails from the top executives of Burisma, a Ukraine natural gas company, thanking him for meeting with Joe Biden, who was the vice president at the time. In 2017, emails detailing lucrative deals with Chinese energy company that included a proposed equity breakdown for the parties involved and included a line 10 held by H for the big guy.
Whatever could that mean?
Yeah, emails released by the Swedish government agency also match the emails by the leaked cache. And two people who corresponded with Hunter Biden confirmed that the emails from the cache were genuine.
Good. At least we know.
So it's not a Russian plant. Basically.
This is so dumb.
Anyway, he released a book, and the book is it's basically everything that we already knew about Biden.
It's all the stuff that no one else is going to pay attention to.
It's everything that we knew about Biden. Everything. This book isn't going to sell much, but it probably has a lot of truth.
It might sell a lot.
It might sell a lot, but it probably has a lot of truth in it.
Oh, sure.
Backed up by actual information. And since this guy is a reporter and he has access to these people, I'd say that he might have something.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's always truthful because most reporters aren't, but this guy apparently didn't like the Bidens. Or at least he was neutral on the fact and he was just trying to find the information.
You better be careful because Bidens are going to send him out the same way that
Clinton's did.
Clinton's did.
I mean, maybe.
Saying.
You know, because the big guy knows.
Gots to be careful.
Mm-hmm. Blazing Slug over there. Schreckinger. Hell, I barely knew her.
Adam W. Johnson. Since we're on a Mel Brooks theme, how about Young Frankenslug for your next name change? That referring to Blazing Slugs.
No, that's good. Yeah.
That's a good one. That would be next. Oblivion Flickering. Here a slave, there a slave, everywhere a slave.
Old McBiden at a farm.
Jackal Lazarus over on Twitter. I can't watch a second of Joey Pudding Pops. Fills me with the urge to throw up. I right there.
Yep.
With you entirely. I was, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Dang it, Chris over on Twitter. Also, I Dylan Lyles. The Joe Bidens is the nicest, sweetest, strongest president ever. He is actually what we need at this time. Are those horses I hear? Sounds like 4 of them.
Yeah.
It's
nothing.
Are those trumpets playing?
Don't pay attention. Yeah.
Did the sky just split? What
don't pay attention to that. Yeah. It's nothing.
Exactly.
It's not a big deal.
Don't worry about it. It's a minor detail.
Yeah. And so before we get off to the break here, because we
gonna squeeze that one in?
I want to squeeze this in real quick.
Okay.
Chuck Schumer claims that the reason
he claims
why,
a lot.
yeah, but he claimed that one of the major reasons why we have a shortage of people working is because Trump didn't allow illegals to come to our country to work. Our labor shortage, so says the Schumer, is the fact that we didn't have illegals doing the jobs that we don't want to do. Dylan?
Yeah, not the, $15 an hour expectation
Bullshit.
for pay on everybody.
Not the fact that we had everybody
shut
getting paid for doing nothing but sitting on their ass for an entire
Yeah, I was going to
year
say,
and a half.
not the fact that we shut the economy down
Completely.
And now that, people are, trying to go to work, allegedly, they're not really.
Allegedly.
The jobs are now voluntarily just kind of paying people a boatload of money because they Man. It's like, why not? We might as well pay him. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with that. No. It's because we aren't allowing illegal immigrants in.
Right.
And now he's going to obviously probably word it, and I'm assuming he's wording it as
Yeah.
talking about legal immigration.
Oh, no. No, he said illegal immigrants.
He said illegal. That's
He's talking
verbatim.
about illegal flocks. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying where's the quote?
I'll get it. We'll get there. Actually, you know what? We're going to talk about that on the break, so people are there. We'll take
man.
it there. Okay?
I guess it's only fair you got to hold it over.
Yeah, sorry.
And jerk.
No, we're going to talk about on the break.
Oh, and then, okay, good. I can handle that.
You can handle that?
Okay.
All right.
We'll be all right then.
All right. Yeah. Here you go. Talk about people understanding that fixing our broken immigration system is a moral imperative and also an economic imperative because immigrants are so important to our country.
Yeah, I told you, it's immigrants. He didn't say illegal.
Yeah. Talk about shortage of workers. One of the main reasons is how Trump cut back on immigrants, both documented and undocumented.
Were you supposed to cut back on undocumented, you jackass?
And we don't have the money to support documented either at the moment.
So stupid.
Demi.
Well, no, he could support the legal ones coming in.
Generally.
In general, no, we can't because it's
All the illegals coming in.
Yeah, you're not doing anything about the illegals.
Yeah. It saddens me and it frustrates me and it angers me. Because so many people, so many lives are at stake. But make no mistake, the fight continues.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. Approximately 8 million immigrants from 4 countries, so-called dreamers, temporary protective status, farm workers, essential workers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's
All the BS.
Some of that money that's going from the $3.5 trillion spending plan. Those are going to illegal workers, by the way. Those are people that are illegal.
Isn't that fantastic?
We're spending money on people that aren't legal.
Isn't that fantastical?
So in essence, he does mean illegal. He's saying immigrant, but what he means is illegal.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it grand?
And then grind. So grind. Yeah, I'm not worried about that one.
You're not.
No, but I mean, we can hit it.
This is Defenders Live.
Doodle-doo-doo. Doodle-doo-doo.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. Bum, 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 bum.
Adam W. Johnson. Adam W. Johnson over there on the Twitters. Does Schumer realize how racist that statement is? I just can't. Then you got the oh my.
He's an idiot.
I don't think he has the biggest balls for such a freaking idiot.
Well, he's like Biden. He's been in office since Moby Dick was a minnow.
And so he doesn't care.
No.
He has no cares. He's actually still salient. That's the only difference. Like he thinks still. It's just he's a moron.
He's greedy and he's selfish and he knows how to play the games. That way he doesn't have to worry about.
Because it's time to play the game.
Well, yeah, as long as he can play the game properly, where he can keep maintaining his paychecks and he can do all this, that, and the third, and not have to worry about being responsible or actually do his job
for any sort of reason.
Yeah. Then why should he have to worry?
Why should he change? If you keep voting him in, he should never change.
Yeah, because obviously he's doing something right.
Or he's not, and you're not paying attention.
But from his side, he's doing something right.
Obviously.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, doesn't matter.
Even if it's just getting a whole bunch of money.
The media hyped Justice for J6 rally was promised to be the sequel to the January 6th riot at Capitol Hill.
It wasn't.
Hold on, just pause for a second.
Yeah.
Read that again and just take in every word.
Mm-hmm.
The media hyped Justice for J6 rally was promised to be the sequel to January 6th riot at Capitol Hill.
Okay, so
gonna
there's
stop
there's a
there.
lot of problems with this.
Is there?
Yes.
Look at what you got, because I got a couple.
So first off, January 6th was not pushed by the media
At all.
at all. There was no media hype with that.
Okay.
In fact, all of the hype that came from it was actually back-ended, through other social media, stuff and everything else. And even when it happened, or before it happened, anybody who was anybody knew that it was going to be a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, other than just the Trump rally. If you were at the Trump rally, that's one thing. But if you stayed back and you did anything else beyond that, everybody knew
Yeah.
that was going to be a bad deal for you. We even said it
Yeah.
at the time. This is not
They're
good.
going to make this into
they're going to make
something,
it into
yeah.
something else. Don't go. Don't be there. Don't do it.
If you go, watch your tail. Behave.
Behave. Do your due diligence. Make sure that you're safe. Leave as soon as possible. All those things. The media didn't hype January 6th.
Nope.
They were trying to
happened
avoid
naturally.
it with all need. And so for the media to actually hype something about January 6th is a problem.
Yeah. The other problem is it was promised to be the sequel to January 6th. Based off of the media's definition of what happened in January 6th, that means there should have been violence. That means somebody should have died.
Multiple people
Should have died.
Multiple people should have
So
died.
why would you
be
anybody
pushing that?
encouraging that? Exactly. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Why?
With a massive police presence, many of whom were dressed in full riot gear and the Capitol barricaded, the rally turned out to be a complete and total dud.
Yeah, there was a total of 7 people who were actually there for the rally. Out of those, so here you go. There was a total of 1,000 people there.
Wow.
Okay?
Fantastic.
7 were for the rally. The rest was either police or the media
Good. Because,
waiting.
hooray. Got to have that handled. There was, however, one arrest
Oh.
of a man who was found to be in possession of a firearm.
Yes, he was.
But he turned out to be a federal agent.
Yes. Yes, he did.
The man who was arrested is a 27-year-old U.S. Customs and Border Protection agent from New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
He was taken into custody after people at the rally reported seeing him with a firearm.
Okay, he was outside.
It's the Capitol. That area, they don't allow anything like that there.
I'm sorry. It's the capital of where?
That would be America.
That's the United States?
The United States, yes.
The Second Amendment. Shut the fuck up.
Shut your mouth! The United States Capitol Police initially said the man was being charged with violating 40 U.S. Code subsection 5104 for carrying a firearm on federal property where it is illegal to possess a firearm. However, the U.S. Attorney in Washington, D.C. said prosecutors were, quote, not moving forward with the charges. Isn't that weird?
It's so weird.
It's odd.
It's like he legally owned a firearm and there was no reason for him to be arrested.
Well, it's because it's their guy. The Associated Press reported this, and the office did not provide any of the details about it. The CPB agent was not at the rally in an official capacity. So they're not going to, no, he's not, literally all this is saying he's not going to get in trouble.
He's just not going to get in trouble. Yep. That's it. So he was there.
He was there.
He is a federal agent, but he wasn't there on federal agent duty.
That duty.
I know. But even though he was arrested for having a firearm at the Capitol building,
yeah,
that was it. Like, he didn't do anything wrong.
And they're not going to press charges. They're not going to hold anything against him.
Right. I mean, he had licenses for everything. So
yeah.
So there was that.
This one got your goat.
These last two stories kind of go together. So I kind of had to I had to piece them together because it didn't. So
How'd you say that?
So a House Appropriations Chair, Rosa DeLauro, said it is critical for Congress to swiftly pass the new package that she has going on.
I don't know if I want to talk about some woman's package.
She wants people to pass her package.
Gross.
Right. Yeah, the House Democrat leader on Tuesday yanked $1 billion from the Israel Missile Defense Fund from a government federal funding package that will bring them no closer to stopping the government shutdown and avoiding the default at all, because apparently there's a giant government shutdown happening. But the Democrats just want to take $1 billion away from Israel for no reason.
Well, no, that is a reason. It's because it's Israel.
It's because it's Israel, yeah. The funding bill hit a last-minute snag after a group of House progressives revolted over a $1 billion that it would have provided to the Pentagon to help replenish Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system. You know, the thing that keeps everybody in Israel safe?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because we told them that we would help support them in this. Democratic leaders stripped the provision from the measure just minutes before the procedural vote after facing pushback from the left. The Iron Dome money, which Israel views as critical for its protection.
I can see that. I would agree.
Right. Which includes the annual defense funding bill instead, according to the Appropriations Committee. Yeah. There is no interruption in funding for the Iron Dome, said the Appropriations Chair, Rosa DeLauro. We are trying to make this just a seamless package, okay?
Okay, because we believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Republicans have said that they plan to reject the funding package, including $28.6 billion in disaster aid, including the storm-battered red states, as well as $6.3 billion in funding for Afghan refugees and an extension for the federal cash to keep the government open for through December 3rd. Democrats, eager for messaging wins, are tying that bundle with a measure that would hit pause on an approaching debt cliff through the 2022 midterms.
Of course, because with the election coming up, they don't want to sit here and actually not do anything, because then they would be held responsible for
They would be held responsible.
not doing anything.
Yeah, two people familiar with the matter said that the group of objectors to the Iron Dome language included Democrats who pushed earlier this year to cancel all arms sales to Israel amid the shooting wars and Hamas militants in Gaza. The funding would have made good on a pledge that by the Biden administration to help Israel replace hundreds of interceptors used to knock down rockets that Hamas launched from Gaza in the spring.
Good.
So Biden promised Israel money.
And then said no.
And now you are saying, no, we're not going to do it. And he's basically a box of rocks, so he's going to sign it anyway. A number of moderate members tweeted their displeasure about this.
Because that's going to...
Because tweeting
Because tweeting at it is going to make a huge difference, isn't it there, bub?
Yeah.
You know, because...
Including some Democrats. They're very upset.
They're just a tad miffed.
Miffed about this. Protecting the citizens even of Israel. Yeah. I just... Let the government shut down.
It doesn't.
We don't need it.
And at this point, with the economy and everything the way it is,
we don't need it.
You would not notice it.
We don't need it.
You can't go nowhere or do anything anyway. So
right. So let the government shut down. What is it really going to harm us?
I don't know.
The president is still going to be there. Congress still has to be there. They're still getting paid. The only people that this would really affect, because government shutdowns are staged, right?
Yes.
And by staged, I don't mean, it's all fake. It's staged. So by government shutdown,
it's hyperbole.
All it is like they have to press pause on a couple of projects. Because they're spending money out the ass anyway.
Not a couple of projects. It's on the entire, don't you know the entire country shuts down? How dare you? You can't go to parks?
Except for the last time.
You can't go to parks?
Yeah. That's what Barack Obama did. He literally shut down all parks.
You can't go to parks.
But that didn't do anything because it didn't affect the income or the outgo of our federal government's money. Because you don't make money or you don't lose money from a park.
But you can't go to parks.
Right. Can't go to parks. All right. So what actually happens in a government shutdown from finances?
Not a whole lot of nothing.
Nothing.
Actually, it's a good thing because
It's
then
great for us.
you're not paying anything. You're
Yeah.
not accruing debt.
We're not
You're not
adding
doing
additional
anything.
debt to
Everything
crap.
stops. Well, not everything. There's certain things that do kind of keep going, but
The-
you're not paying workers to do anything.
The three branches of government are still active throughout the entirety of it, okay? A government shutdown does not mean that these people are just going home. No, it means that they're just like, okay, well, we don't have any more funds to extend anything else that we currently want to pay for. And the funny thing is, we haven't had those funds for years.
Yeah.
All we're doing is adding on debt. So you know what? What month is it right now?
September?
September. October.
I had to do the math in my brain for a minute.
October, November, December. Oh, it's a fiscal year. So actually, October, November, December, January, February, March.
Uh-huh.
6 months with no government spending.
Do you think that might save the debt?
Oh my! It's not going to save the debt, but it would help. It would.
No, I
help.
don't mean save the debt like that. I didn't mean like that, but I mean...
It would help so much.
Do you realize how much that would...
Do you know what they would have to do? It's never going to happen. What they would
Where's the
have,
clock?
they would have to, the debt clock?
Yeah.
I got you.
While you're talking.
Yeah. They would have to, without a shadow of a doubt, they would have to go through and they would have to actually make a budget. What if, this is a what if. I know it's never going to happen, but this is a what if, okay? What if the government did shut down? Okay?
Okay.
And they couldn't reopen until we had an actual budget. Not a spending bill, an actual budget.
Yeah, that would be weird, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? Would it be weird?
Just a tad.
Would it? No, hold on. Would it be weird?
It would be because we're not used to having a budget. We're not. We haven't had a budget
Right.
in forever. Ever.
Well, that's the point, right? We haven't had it.
Yeah.
We haven't had a budget in forever. And that's the thing. Because we haven't had a budget, and this is okay. This is where everybody in the world needs to think about this. If you do not have a budget, you are controlled by the money that comes into your hands. And a budget doesn't have to be anything really specific. You just have to know where your money's going. That's it. You just have to actually understand where your money is going, where the flow is. And you have to control just a smidge, just a single little bitty tiny bit of that money.
Yeah, I was looking on there trying to see what the monthly
Oh, no, this is just
total
current
would be.
total.
No, I know, but I didn't know as many brackets as it had. I thought maybe it would have
No,
like
they
a
yeah,
monthly
no.
thing or
No, they
something
don't
to
have
that
monthly,
nature.
yeah, no,
Darn it. That stinks.
it does stink.
Because I would love to know what.
And also, that is a lie. Assets per citizen?
No, it is. It's just we don't actually control it.
Well, no, they're assets. So, but that's a lie. If we're in that much, if we're in debt by so much as a country, that's a lie. Assets, no. The assets per citizen over $500,000. Yeah, bullshit. Bullshit.
I feel like you find that to be a little bit falsified there.
A little bit falsified.
A little. In,
I mean, if you're just, even if it's just the average, no, that's a lie.
B from the SAV. Government shutdown. No. It's Trump's fault. Not sure how, but it is.
Yeah. Dang it, Chris over there. Forever? Forever, never?
Yeah. Forever, ever.
For never, ever.
For never, never.
Yeah. In related news.
Going back to Biden and his wonderful address.
At the UN.
Screw the UN. President Joe Biden on Tuesday said that the United States would provide more than $11 billion in climate aid annually by 2024 to assist poorer countries vulnerable to extreme weather and rising temperatures.
Stop. Sorry. Well, wait, hold on. 11 billion?
$11 billion.
11
yeah.
billion. So Joe Biden is somehow going to find $11 billion.
Yes.
But we're going to take away $1 billion
From
Israel.
Yeah.
Who needs it for actual defense.
Yeah.
And we're going to take that away from them, but we're going to give it to give it and another $10 billion to aid in climate
Yeah.
for poorer countries.
Yeah. It's really weird. He actually sat there at one point and tried saying that how he thinks that, a two-party state would be a great way for that to be settled and blah, 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 but we're a long way from being there. I'm like, you're an idiot.
What a dumbass.
Because think about this. It's just a teensy-weensy little bit.
Just a
That
smidge.
offer was thrown out already.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is it was turned down because Hamas...
They keep on saying that, no, we can't have a two-party state.
It doesn't work that way.
Not gonna happen.
Weirdo.
Give us everything or die.
Pretty much.
And then they fire a bunch of rockets while they're sitting in the middle of a civilian neighborhood. And then when Israel fires back, oh, you're killing our people. No, we're just trying to hit you.
You're not going to get us now.
Right.
But the president didn't specify in his speech to the United Nations General Assembly how he plans to convince Congress to increase aid from a previously announced $5.7 billion commitment, which doubles Obama-era aid levels. Nobody knows.
No, nobody knows.
He has no idea. He just said, we're just going to do it.
We're just going to do it. We're just going to double it.
Uh-huh.
Just going to double up.
Yeah.
Double income.
Yep.
That's how it's going to happen.
The relative frugality from the United States on climate aid is seen as a major obstacle to securing ambitious actions as countries head into November's global climate talks in Glasgow, Scotland. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
once again,
how-
remember, in Scotland, they're no longer kilts. Everything is a skirt.
Yeah. It's really kind of makes you giggle a little bit, doesn't it?
It's all skirts.
I think it's funny myself.
I'm holding that against you, Scotland.
It's your fault.
It's all your problem. Scotland.
If only.
Anyway.
I don't know why that keeps making me laugh to do that, but it does. Oh, my God.
So once again. So currently right now, we spend around $5.7 billion
Yes.
annually
Yes.
for climate change
Yes.
in poor countries.
Yes. Doing what? I have no earthly idea.
And the budget,
Yeah, I don't.
the annual budget, or not the budget, but the spending bill, the current spending bill that they're trying to pass, doesn't try to get rid of that. Instead, they try to get rid of the $1 billion going to Israel for their defense.
Yeah,
That was already promised to them. The money that was already promised to them.
because it's Israel. Screw Israel. That's how this administration feels. That's how the left feels. That's how a lot of people tend to feel.
Yeah.
Even though they're our allies, screw you people, you're on your own. But how Biden will realize his pledge to quadruple his U.S. climate aid is an open question, telling the General Assembly that his administration, quote, will work with Congress, end quote, to hit the mark. Quote, we also have to support the countries of people that will be hit the hardest and have the fewest resources to help them adapt. End quote. That according to Biden, saying that spending combined with the leveraging private financing would bring rich countries closer to the $100 billion in annual climate finance it promised to poorer nations. Quote, this will make the U.S. the leader of public climate finance, end quote.
So okay.
Yep.
Spending, saying that government spending combined with leveraging private finance.
Mm-hmm.
But-
Making the rich pay their fair share.
That's my question.
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
Yes, it does.
Leveraging private finance.
Yes.
We're going to leverage.
Well, it
Private-
also
private
goes back to
finance.
that whole, make sure that they get the IRS to scope through everybody's bank
After
accounts.
$600.
Uh-huh.
If you have more than $600 in your bank account, they want to know why.
Yeah, Peroonies.
Yeah, that's not good.
Let's see.
But no, hold on.
Oh,
wait,
you
wait.
have.
But-
He's like, I'm not.
No.
You rat bastard.
We currently are sitting at $5.7 billion being given to these countries in America.
Right.
And they want to get it to $100 billion
Right.
a year
Right.
to spend on climate finance, not climate change, climate finance.
Mm-hmm.
And finance is a very weird word when it comes to this sort of thing. It could mean lend.
Yeah.
It could mean lend.
It doesn't.
Right. It could mean borrow.
More likely.
Or it could mean spend.
Definitely.
So when you're talking about climate finance, it means spending money on the climate.
It means all of it.
Yeah.
So we're clear.
Spending money on the climate using all the factors. That's probably what it is.
Because we all know that the best way to stop any kind
Of issue. Any issue.
whatsoever, all it takes
Is money.
is money. If a tornado's coming,
Money.
all you do is just stand out in your yard and throw money at it.
Right.
And it'll go, holy crap, and it'll go
It
away.
used to only cost you about 50 cents.
Yeah.
Like you could just throw 2 quarters at it.
Yeah.
And it would go
Well,
away.
inflation and time has
it
gone
would go
on.
away.
and-
And so now it's like $500,000. But
At
still.
least, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why the average person just can't go and do it.
Right,
They
which
have
is
to-
why their house gets ran over through tornadoes.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, that's just it. Nobody can do anything about it.
You're picking up on it.
Yeah. And I mean, the tsunamis in Haiti.
Yep.
All it really would take
Mm-hmm.
for the tsunamis in Haiti to stop, and the earthquakes,
Yeah.
and all the hurricanes and everything else, because they're out there in the middle of the ocean.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of an odd place to be. They could just move their island if they wanted to get away from those.
Right. That only cost a few $100 billion.
I mean,
It's only a few $100 billion to move an entire landmass.
so the funny part about all this is the whole thing he's talking about has been, and again, I painstakingly listened to it.
Stupid.
I know, but I had nothing else to listen to, and I thought it was important.
No, it wasn't.
You listen to this guy and you hear everything that he had to say, and all of it is we're going to just throw money at stuff. We're going to unify the entire world. Everything is going to be great.
Yep.
Climate change. And again, he went back to this whole thing about climate change. It was all about climate change because if nations just address this stuff with climate change, then these kids will stop being terrorists. He said something to that roundabout effect.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. In a roundabout way.
If we can stop climate change, we'll stop terrorism.
Basically. It's because it's all these people are angry. Their governments are not taking care of them as the way they feel they should. And so if they handle it, then a lot of this stuff will stop.
What we need now is we need for one world government.
All we need is love. Oh, we're heading to that one world government.
Love is all you need. No, all we need
Quick,
now is
fast, and in a
one
hurry.
world government, giant communism throughout the entire world, where everything is controlled by the top, and you have no say in anything that happens for the rest of your life, or your children's lives, or
Yep.
your children's children's lives.
Isn't it great?
And the only way that you can get away is to find a place that was so secluded and so not known, and is completely off the grid.
Isn't it great?
Probably Antarctica.
Oh no, they're gonna find a way to. They're gonna find a way to handle that one too. It's like, nope, sorry,
North
sir.
Pole, South Pole, Antarctica. Maybe find an island that they haven't found yet.
I wish that we were that lucky.
I know, right?
I wish we were that lucky. The UN Climate Conference is viewed as a political watershed moment for the world's bid to keep temperatures from rising 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Now, I feel like I approach this every single time, but they keep coming back to this whole, well, we don't want the degree to go up 1.5 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
We don't want the temperature to go. We're getting ready to start cooling down just a little bit.
We are.
North Carolina, the temperature during the day can reach upwards of 70 or 70, sometimes 80 degrees.
You know, this entire summer has been like chill.
It's been nice. But no, I was going to say is the way it runs is it'll turn around and it'll get down into the 60s. That's a 20-degree change on average.
Yeah.
Why are we worrying about 1.5 degrees? If we can fluctuate 20 degrees in a single day,
Within
or
like
more,
within 2 to 3 hours.
then why is it that you're trying to make us freak out over 1.5 degrees?
An average of 1.5 degree over time.
This same BS is the same BS they use when it comes to COVID.
Yep.
But you know what BS you can't get? It's American Pride Roasters coffee. Go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
They should have a coffee flavor called BS.
It's historically great coffee. Guaranteed to make you swallow every single time you put it in your mouth. World is going to hell and it's a crappy place, but at least you can have a great cup of Joe in your coffee or in your cup in the mornings. Go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com. That's AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
Go to Mojo50.com. That's where you can find all of the radio hosts for the Mojo 50 Radio Network, their schedules, the gear, and all the rest of it. You can also check them out on the iHeartRadios at the Mojo 50 Radio button for 24/7 free speech talk.
Yep. Go to our website, DOAShow.com, and follow us on all the social medias at DOA Show. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Bye.